everybody. Welcome back to Mortgage Ballers. My name is Rich Hanlin, and today I got a special interview, and people say, yeah, you say that all the time. And I'm like, no, I have incredible interviews with incredible people, and one of those people actually does a lot of different things. You're going to enjoy this one today. Miss Jamie Newman is in the house with me today. Jamie, what's up?
Hi.
Oh, we got a little high out of her. She's a little bit timid. Here's the best part about Jamie. Outside of a camera, she goes 100 miles an hour, talks to a million people, has tons of deals going, real estate, loans, has a Hounds Maiden, which we're going to talk about that a little bit. She has a team of people. She helps people. She directs people. She runs our Arrive platform, the weekly Arrive things. You might know her from that. Can you say endless energy? That's what you're looking at is Jamie Newman. But here's the best part. I noticed it the first time I met her. I met Jamie, and first of all, I'm thinking, God, we have young people at Expert Home Lending. I'm like, since when are we doing like the 20-year-olds? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm not 20 years old. And just blew me away. Her and Megan, I absolutely thought that we had, went out and raided the local colleges or something, because they both take really good care of themselves, look so young. And I'm thinking, man, we have like the best of the best at Expert Home Lending. And then you find out the behind the scenes, and Jamie goes 100 miles an hour. So I talk to Jamie all the time. She came in and helped me in November. She was helping Justin and I before that, but you really came in and started as like, okay, I need her help all the time. And she has so many connections. I mean, so much. Jamie, you're incredible. And today I want to capture you so the world will get to know what I already know. But I made Jamie a bet, and I told her, I bet she turns out to be one of the top originators in the entire nation, because I can see the attributes, the hard work, and it's just growing. And this is in the middle of a hard economy, in my opinion. Jamie, how many transactions do you have going on right now?
Altogether 12.
Yes, you heard that. 12. I have people that did one for the whole year last year. This is what I call an up and coming best of the best. She's going to give some people a run for it. She has yet to hit her stride. She's figuring it all out. She's putting all the pieces in. How many people you got on your team?
I think 10 or 11 right now, like
10 or
official.
11.
Yeah.
How many times you been out to UWM?
I've lost count a long time ago.
Would you say more than 10 times?
Probably, yeah. I used
Yeah.
to go once.
Jamie, when I first, well, I'm not going to say I first met her, but for the year after I first met her, every time I went to UWM, she goes, that's cool. I'm going to be out there too. And I'm thinking, how are you out there so much? But Jamie, literally, when they said, you come to Expert Home Lending and you can go to every class you want. And when everything was slow, even Matt Ishby was saying, hey, this is the best time to invest in yourself. Well, she took him up on it, and she'd been investing in herself. Is there any classes at UWM that you haven't taken?
Yeah, they have new ones now, but
Oh,
they
shoot.
have
Now
more.
they got new ones. Okay.
I'm going to one in May. I can't remember what class it is though, but I'm going to one in May. May 20th.
All right. Do you get the same room every time you go out there, or do you actually have to move hotels? How does that work?
And the restaurant people know me. Western lives in Michigan.
That's true. The restaurant people probably do know you.
There's people that say hi to me at UWM that I don't even know.
They just assume, I would, if they didn't know and you're there that much, I could assume that they might think, where's that girl, that really cool girl with the cool dreads that, she's here all the time. Is she a manager? Man, she's a broker. What are you talking about? So you do a good job with that.
Employees that say hi to me on a regular basis, and they're like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I'm like,
it's good attributes to have. All right. I want people to know more about you, because right now they're not figuring this out yet. I bring on these top producers and they're like, oh, makes sense. They've been doing it forever, all these years. And then I've had some people that are just getting in the industry, they're figuring themselves out. And then I got these people that are right in the middle on the verge. Thomas Harris just took off last year, got some coaching, and he went from good to best of the best every single month. You're on that verge now too, in that breakout, and you do so much more than just loans, which is what I admire about you. Um, when I think of all the different hats that you wear, all the people you're training, I mean, Jamie is constantly giving back. Jamie, do you even sleep? I mean, I always wonder that.
I get asked that a lot. I do. I slept from 12 to 6 last night.
Wow. Okay, you got a couple hours in.
I got to bed earlier
Jamie,
than normal last night.
for the record, how long have you been doing loans?
Only about 3 years.
Did you say 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get into loans?
Well, um, I got fed up with I'm a real estate agent, so like I've been a real estate
That's
agent
right.
since 2010, and I just I would get a really good loan officer, and then they would get too big too fast, and they'd outgrow themselves, and then the customer service would go to crap. And then the final straw was actually, um, it was literally just this attitude that was in the industry of, well, do you want the house or not? Right? Like way under disclosing fees, like not disclosing prorations, like way under disclosing what the cash to close was going to be, and then getting a week from closing and needing $10,000 more than what they thought they were going to need, and borrowers not having it and hearing, well, do they want the house or not?
Yeah.
It was that was what made me do it the most. Like that was what was like, okay, I just need to do loans. Julio, who is going to be coming to expert very soon,
For the record,
yeah,
Julio Villalobos, if we're saying his name right,
I don't know. I can't. I've never been able to
one
say
of
it.
the top loan officers in Utah, possibly anywhere by volume on Telemundo. You will know him. You will see him. He's recently come over, but played a huge role, mentor in Jamie's life as well.
He did. I met Julio while I was getting my real estate license. I worked for him and his former business partner Daniel a few
Uh-huh.
times at their real estate brokerages, and they were the ones really pushing me from the day they met me. They were like, "You're so smart. You need to be a loan officer. You're so smart. Like, you need to be a loan officer. You're so smart." That's all they ever said. They're always like, "You're so smart. You need to be a loan officer. Just do it. Just all my whole like for 10 years." Julio was like, "You need to be a loan officer," and then Julio actually paid for my classes. Fun fact. Julio helped me get on, but I wanted to be somewhere where I had already known about UWM, and I loved UWM because originally I was supposed to go to Security National with Julio, and
Uh-huh.
uh,
Big difference.
yeah, huge difference. But I wanted what UWM had to offer. I was a big UWM fan, so I
Where were you before you came to expert?
bear it.
Barrett Financial.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep,
Isn't it amazing how somebody could invest in somebody? He saw it and he pushed you and he said, I'm going to invest in you. And you did it. And it changes like the course or trajectory of your life. You have, most people do not take such a direct course into success. And you don't give yourself enough credit. It's funny because everybody around you sees it. And it's okay. That's a good attribute. Being humble is a good attribute. You never look for the award. You never or look at me, look at me. You're just off and running. Like you figured it out. Life isn't fair, and you got to wake up every morning, go 100 miles an hour, and you know you you leave an impression on so many different people's lives once they get to know you. Like I get the calls on this side, like, who's this Jamie girl? Like she's awesome. She's teaching us Arrive. She's teaching my people. And I'm thinking, God, she must be doing this around the clock because you're doing your weekly meetings and then you do your one-on-ones, you do your one-on with teams. By the way, that's a shout out to anybody because, and leave a comment down below if Jamie has helped you with Arrive. So many people, because we made that changeover to use Arrive for our um, 44 states and all of our reporting where we didn't at first. And we had to make a big transition. It still is a big transition. So we got a lot of help coming. We've been working on that project for quite a while. We made great headway. 2025 is 100% moving forward, which is what we really were after. And then also working backwards as we can. But you've done a great job with that, Jamie. That's been one huge undertaking. Um, but but wait, there's even more.
yeah. But wait,
Um,
I have to tell you something. I
okay.
have to tell you things, okay? So first of all, The thing that really drives me to help people so much, like why doing this Arrive stuff and helping the LOs and training the LOs is so easy for me, is because when I did start doing loans, it doesn't matter that I'm smart. It doesn't matter that I've been in the industry for 10 years, like doing real estate first. You School does not teach you anything about doing a loan, right? Like you get your license and you know freaking nothing. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. The first 5 months I had my license, I probably cried every day by 5 p.m. And the person that got me through it and the person that believed in me while I was going through that was Christina Gorson. She
Right
was my
on.
AWM and she was the one. She spent lots of time with me helping me figure out files because I didn't have any support. And like after I finally got through that period, like thank God it was short lived, like right, like it was 6 months maybe before I like took off and knew what I was doing. But when I got through that period, I was like, I don't ever want anybody to feel that way again, ever. So like it really drives me. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if I know you. Like any loan officer that needs help, like if they call me and like I got a problem with a loan, I'm gonna help them whenever I can. Right? Like I mean, usually I can, but sometimes it might take a couple hours because I'm helping a
She's
million other.
helping people that aren't even on her team. I want you to understand that. She is
I talked to a loan officer yesterday that was, like, feeling kinda discouraged, and I was like, "Dude, you have me. Like, no matter what, you have me. Like, I will help you." She's not on my team, but I just told her, I'm like, "You I will help you, always."
no, and then I want you to
Fun
be careful with that.
I know, you're like,
I
"Oh,
know it's
calm down."
easy, but
Like, I don't want anybody to come into this industry and feel the way that I felt with 0 support and no help. It was a girl on Instagram that freaking helped me from point A to point B. When I very first got my license, they were throwing all these leads at me because that's what I did. I joined a team that had leads and they were throwing the leads at me, but I didn't know how to take a loan from point A to point B. I had no idea. Couldn't get help. And finally, I reached out to this girl on Instagram and I was like, all I need is just give me a map. Tell me, like, just give me, like, to get from A to B, do this, this, and this, and this, and I'll call you if I have any questions. And that's
okay.
what got me to take off. And then obviously Christina helps me with, like, the bits in between. And she believed in me and constantly told me, like, dude, no, she's like, you are going to do great things. So, anyways, Christina
I'm
is a
not the
shark.
only one seeing
Like,
it.
I wouldn't have made it in loans if it wasn't for Christina. Like, not a chance.
No, that's a huge shout out. Congratulations, Christina, because she's one of our recorded videos as well.
I know. Yeah. She got me through.
So, Jamie, I there's a lot more to you. Like, I know you do real estate. I know you do loans. I know you oversee a team. I know you mentor people. I know you help run our Arrive platform and the training of all of expert home lending. Um, but there's more to that. Like, what do you do in your spare time?
Well, you already know I run hounds, chase bears, live in the mountains.
Explain what that is for the average person that doesn't know what running hounds is.
Okay. So basically, I train dogs to put big game up a tree. By big game, I mean mountain lions, bears, bobcats, raccoons. Some people back east chase deer with hounds. We don't do that here. That's trash for us.
Uh huh.
But yeah. So basically, bear hunting is my jam. I lion hunt, but lion hunting sucks. Like, it's great, but it sucks because you can walk like 3 miles in the mountain, no big deal, but walk 800 yards in waist deep snow and you're dead. Like, sucks so bad. I'm too old for that. Just kidding. But um, no, I like it. I need a side by side with tracks someday so I can get out more in the winter because I'm also like, going out on snowmobiles to look for blind tracks is not very fun. So, anyways, I need a new snow cruiser, but
For the record, when these dogs, and which how many dogs are we talking that you're running at a time that do this?
I usually run 12 to 16 dogs at a time on bear.
12 to 16 dogs.
On mountain lions, you kinda go less. Like, you try to I don't know, like, 6 is probably the ideal number to run on a mountain lion, but when you're hunting like, if you hunt with friends or whatever, like, sometimes you're gonna end up with, like, 9, but you don't running through the snow, you don't want too many dogs on an animal 'cause you run the risk of them catching it on the ground, and that's never the goal. We don't ever wanna catch them on the ground, so,
Well,
we
and
just
just for the all the people, once you get them up in the tree, what are you doing with them?
I take pictures and then generally leave, but, you know there are people that actually hunt, but for the most part, what I
Use
do
that method. You
yeah,
take pictures though.
I take pictures and then call my dogs off, like
And what's that social media? Is it Hounds Maiden?
Hounds Maiden is my Instagram. I'm really,
I'll put
really,
that in there. I want people to see that. It's pretty cool. I'm amazed at these
and
wild animals.
I have a TikTok too that has some videos, and
Oh,
then
cool. Okay.
it. I'm terrible about posting on social media because I'm shy, so I suck at it. I do. There's been like some years when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to make a post every single day. So in the summer,
Versus Christina that does 5 a day.
no, and then there's Christina that does 5 days, pushes me to get out of my shell a little bit. Um, I suck at it, but like come summer, come June, like I'll probably be posting every day and making new videos and stuff because that's bear hunting is my jam. You just load the dogs in the box and on the box. So I usually have 8 dogs riding on top of my box. And then the rest of them will be in the box. And I just drive around until they smell a bear. When they smell a bear, they start barking and I just dump the box. So I mean, I have a lot of cool videos that like people that have taken videos of. I suck um at getting video. I'm
Well,
trying.
it's kind of hard to do control the dogs and get the video, but you go out a lot by yourself too.
Yeah, I'm trying to be better. I have a dash cam now, so like I have a dash cam that catches some of the stuff going on in my truck now. I just got that last year. I want a better one. I bought a drone for the hound trials this weekend, so I bought a
Okay.
drone today, um, to catch some activity up high. Can't really use the drone hunting, but like I can use it for things like field trials and training and different things like that to show more of that. And then of course I have the GoPro, which I think my kid has the battery figured out. Like I wanted to get a lot of GoPro video last summer, but I didn't get very much because the battery would die like before I'd even get to a tree. The battery was dying so fast. Half of the entertainment, my most viewed TikTok video is me. I was doing a Snapchat. I was training dogs for a guy in Michigan, and I was doing a Snapchat telling him how good his dog was doing, but also trying to walk and catch up to dogs at the same time. And I was on a really steep hill, and I totally just like fall. I my leg catches a stick, and I like fall downhill like poof, and that's my most viewed TikTok.
Sounds like a great video.
It's fantastic.
Well,
It's
we're
my
glad you made it through that because look
it's
at what life has changed for you.
my most
Oh, tell me, okay, so we're going to put that. I'll put that in there so that people can click on it and go check that out because I think it's pretty cool. We have so many people at Expert to do crazy things. Yesterday, Matt Hardy, he climbs the side of mountains. He's a rock climber. Like I didn't know that. We have Rubik's Cube champion. We have people that sing. Um, we have people. Yesterday, interviewed somebody. She was United States jet ski champion. And I'm like, didn't know. There's so much more to people than just, oh yeah, I'm a loan officer. It's like you go somewhere and they're like, oh, first thing we're going to say is, oh, your loan officer don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, hey, before you ask me what I do, why don't you let's see who we are. What are we about? And maybe there's some things we have in common if we would just get past starting with the first part. And that's the part I like about capturing these videos because I want people to know more of the human being behind the loan officer. But I know how you got in. I know why you got in. I know that you have done real estate, but I know you have hobbies. But you've only been doing this 3 years. You're starting to take off. You're a great story to follow. Um, what is your biggest advice to somebody who's just starting, who's crying every day by 5 o'clock, going, "What in the world did I sign up for?" Because you're actually mentoring some people right now. I turned a new person over to you, Karen Ramirez, because it's like, no, I'm going to connect you with Jamie because she was just there 3 years ago. This is what can happen in a short period of time. And this has been a tough market. But what's your advice to someone who's coming in, who's frustrated and figuring out really quick it's not as easy as they maybe thought it was?
right, just not to give up and find your help. Like find your source of support and help. Like the answer's there. It's not worth giving up. For me, I can handle it if I make a mistake, right? Like that's the thing. Like they throw you into this business, and there's so many hands in the pots. Like for me, that was the biggest problem. There were so many hands in the pots, and I didn't know how to proactively prevent problems from happening with my files, right? Like the biggest thing that helped me was making sure I became adverse in the like I just dipped right into all the pieces of the puzzle so that I could prevent problems from happening, right? Like, but that's like a me personality thing, right? Like it's worth it if you don't give up, right? And
By the
some
way, that's a personality trait of the top loan officers that, you know, that's what the difference is seeing ahead of time the red flags and going, I'm going to deal with this now and create a smooth transaction. That's not a weird trait. That's an incredible trait. And the fact that you have it 3 years in is actually, and you figured it out. That's even more important.
it's a little bit of a flaw too, because I have a hard time letting control. I have the hardest time letting go of control of my files. Like I've never used a processor. I
So
don't
you
know
have accountability, is what you're saying.
because I suck at letting go of control. Like I'm a control freak, like 100%, like all day long. When it comes to my files, I'm a control freak, and I don't. I'm also nice. Like I know I'm a nice person, right? So like I don't even. It would make me feel bad to be a control freak and frustrated with somebody. So I haven't even actually ever given anybody a chance to process my files because I'm worried that I'd be like
We'll
the
be working on that one. You cannot do volume and process your own deals. I know one person that can, but even he hits a limit. I see you doing 30 and 40 deals. I see you following, like people say, who's the next Stephanie Gilbert, Catherine Barnett, Brandy Stevens, and these people like Amanda Ross. And I'm like, Jamie Newman. It's Jamie Newman. She's right there. She's that good. Um, you know, and best part is you're very humble. You're very, very humble. You don't have an attitude. You're willing to listen and learn, and you keep getting better and better and better. I appreciate that about you.
I like learning. I always say I'm addicted to learning. So and like but again that like becomes a problem because I'm like I'm such a control freak, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
We'll work on that part.
It's baby steps. Like Heather forces me. Like Heather literally forces me every day.
Heather Martin.
Yep, Heather forces me like, "What can I do to help you? What like let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you." She like literally every day forces me multiple times a day. But she's learned that that's just what she has to do. She has to force me to let her help me. And she's a great help. She comes on all of
You,
our
yeah,
training meetings with me to be there for me, like moral support and, she helps with the chat and stuff. So she's awesome.
promise you that, especially the more you do deals, that eventually the two of you will grow. It'll be like you're now one, and
Mhm.
she'll know how to take over because you read each other's minds. And that's the hardest part about starting over with a new LOA or a processor, because you got to retrain them. People say, "Hey, I need a processor." I'm like, you know, that's such a big question when I hear it, because yes, a processor just to help with paperwork, but will they complement me in how I sell, how I do, how I talk? Because I'm a control freak in the sense that I want to be in on everything. Some people are like, "Hey, I bring the app in, you close it, let me know if there's a problem." I'm not. I don't care to do that because I'm still responsible, and so I want to be included on everything. But Brittany does a great job. She's also real estate agent, loan officer, so she gets it. Um, and people say, "Oh, just use a third party processor." I'm like, yeah, but we have people at our company that are also licensed. I mean, they understand the importance of a loan and things like that. And I love seeing people. Sometimes a team can bring out the strengths of everybody. So many people want to be individual to themselves, and the broker world does that. But it's like, you know, you can only go so far on your own, and
Mhm.
you are creating a great team, great. I don't know what's the right comrade, camaraderie, I guess is the right word, but I like that. All right, I'm going to get you some more questions. I want to know some more because I can't say what kind of advice you give to your younger self. Well, I am going to say that one
No,
because
even go there.
the girl coming out of high school, with what you know, what you've been through, everything that you know, what kind of advice would you give to that young kid coming out of high school nowadays to bridge that gap faster to who you are today?
Not to be afraid of the stock market, to be honest with you.
That's
That's
a
the
good one. We've talked about that.
That's the one thing I wish, like, my parents raised me, like, the stock market is no good, no good, no good, no good, no
Uh-huh.
good. I got into it, like, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, and, like, I wish I would have learned more about money earlier in life in investments because so, I'll tell you right now, the book that helped me the most in life, there's 2 books. The Automatic Millionaire. Actually, I'm gonna do 3. The Automatic Millionaire, The Latte Factor, and, The Richest Man in Babylon.
I know the first and last one. What's that middle one?
The Latte Factor, it's written by the same guy that wrote The Automatic Millionaire. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but,
Okay.
Latte Factor just basically takes all the principles of success and, like, saving money, work-life balance, like, all of those things, and it puts it into a relatable story.
Okay.
So, like, that book, when I listened to that book, I cried I legitimately cried afterwards because it was at that point in my life, I don't know, I was at least maybe like 33 or something when I read that book, but I've made a lot of money in my life. And granted, I have a house, I have a cabin, I have vehicle, like I don't
Whole
have a whole,
businesses, right.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot of debt. So I mean, I do have stuff to show for it, but like when I was 20, between 20 and 30, that money was easy come, easy go, right? Like I was making a lot of money and like bye-bye money. Like, you know what I mean? I was letting it go faster than I was making it. I didn't have strong money values and money principles. And I just
I
wish
can see that in you. 'Cause I can see the there I can see the difference
I'm an
when we have these conversations. And so, yeah, I agree.
I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot from that book. I've the last 4 or 5 years is where like I don't know, everything that I am literally comes from those books that I listen to on a day. Like I don't listen to music in the car. I listen to audiobooks and podcasts. Like I give away 10% of everything that I make. Like the first thing I do with my paychecks is 10% goes into like savings, like my stock market accounts, and 10% goes into a giving account so that when I feel called to give, I have money to give. So I literally like and listening to those books and taking in those principles and implementing those things in my life is literally what started the trajectory of everything changing for me. It's just and I feel like it started with the latte factor and The Richest Man in Babylon I listen to at least every other month because it really ingrains in you the importance of like how you treat your money and like like really just viewing money as like my money are my children that can produce and make me more money, you know what I mean? Like so like literally I mean don't get me wrong, like I partake in nice dinners and stuff like that. But like I actually think about like, oh, am I just gonna eat my children that are supposed to be making me more money? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause like
Sometimes I do.
that's the way the richest man in Babylon puts it. Like I don't remember like in one of the stories, like the guy's talking about like he finally gets some money saved, right? And then he goes and buys new clothes and all this food, and his mentor's like, "You fool! You're eating your little soldiers." Like,
No,
you know,
I get it. I mean,
like you're
just
pouring.
small changes can have a huge impact. And by the way, I didn't grow up with good money. My parents never had money. They never, but and because of that fear of money, they never took risks that
Mhm,
maybe could have led to something. Where I live in a risk filled world all day long. Um, I it's if I'm not at risk, if I don't have my money at risk, I don't just bury my money in the backyard. It's at risk. It's in crypto. It's in gold. It's in oil and gas. It's in kind of all. And we've talked about some of these things. Um, I just spread it out far and wide because I never know which one. Where I used to be before 2008, before you were born, there was this crash, and I was 100% in real estate company in real estate, and the market just got
mhm.
crushed.
I bought my so I bought my first house in 2007, but
Okay.
right before the crash, I was one of those people that probably
Okay.
had business getting a loan. I hadn't been at my job very long. I made a lot of money, not very long, and I just did what my loan officer told me to do. I just gave him the stuff, and like I got a loan. I was probably one of those people that should have never gotten a loan.
Hmm.
Of course, sold that house. I got into real estate right after the crash when it was slow because I figured that's the best time to learn. Like, why not learn when it was slow? Then I kind of feel like I did it again in the mortgage world. Like when things calmed down after COVID, I'm like, I'm gonna get my loan officer license. Like, why not get in when it's slow and interest rates suck? Like, that's time to learn. But um, I was born for the crash. Okay, I was an adult during the crash.
I'm just giving you a hard time because people are going to be saying, they're all shaking their head right now. I want to know how old she is. I
But
want to know how old she is.
listen, I will never sell another house that I own ever again, I don't think. Like, if I can help it,
Correct.
I will never sell another
Hold
house.
them.
My 2 biggest mistakes I've ever made was selling the first house, well, the first real house I bought. The first house I bought, I moved out of my house when I was 16 and into a little trailer house that I had bought,
Uh-huh.
from my
Nikki
parents.
Hauser still has a little trailer that she bought her first.
Yeah, so my very first house was this little tiny single wide trailer on a private rented lot. And
Okay.
I bought it from my parents who had co-signed on it for my brother. So I was like bailing my parents out. And the deal was they were like, well, you can move out, but you have to keep your grades up. So that's why I'm smart. Thank you, parents, for making me stay on
Wait,
top
you
of
moved out when you were 15? Is that what you said?
16.
16. Okay. I need my parents' opinion. I mean, my parents' permission.
Yeah, with my parents' permission. I moved out with my parents' permission. Like the deal was is that I had to keep straight A's. So, I did. And then I bought my next house, like I think when I was 20, 19 or 20 is when I bought a real house. Not,
Okay.
whatever. And my 2 biggest mistakes in my life, like, so when I got divorced, we sold my house, because I got married at 18, divorced by 21. Of course, I married my
Okay.
high school sweetheart. Smart idea there. No, he's a great person though. Like now, he grew up. We both grew up, right? We get along wonderful now, but um, anyways, I bought that house, sold it when we got divorced. That was a big mistake because even though the market crashed in my hometown, the market did not crash. My hometown did not get affected like that. That house would have still been worth money, and it's worth a heck of a lot more money now than it was when I bought it. But my biggest regret and my biggest mistake is when I got into hounds. It's like a drug. It's worse than crack. Like those dogs are worse than crack. I have more dogs than you guys want to know about. Um, It's embarrassing to say the number, but I'm not embarrassed of them. I love them. Like I would be homeless before I got rid of my dogs. Um,
In fact, they're highly trained dogs. They're not just like pets. These are working animals that are highly trained, and you're incredible at training them. You can tell people that you train dogs for people all over the United States to want these dogs. I mean, you do a lot of things. It makes sense when I put it all together. Your life, it starts to make more sense to me who you are and why you are.
right,
And I'm telling you right now, I'll put money on it down in Vegas if they want to give me odds. Um, I know who the next Catherine Bennett or Stephanie Gilbert and or Amanda Ross and Brandy Stevens, Preet Kalari. I know who it is. Jill McCain. I mean, these are some of the top loan officers in the nation, and Nikki Hauser. You got Megan Lamorado. Lindsay Miller coming up behind there. Um, you know, and here comes Jamie Newman, and it's fun watching it. It was fun watching Thomas Harris go from LOA to kind of figuring out. Now he took a different path. He got coaching where you went and educated yourself and reached out to people and said, I need to learn this. I need to learn that. And people started teaching you, and Christina being one of those. But you learn and you hold it. You're very good at retention. Say it that way. Jamie also, how many licenses do you have?
I think 13 or 14.
So Jamie gets deals because people are like, oh, I don't want this deal. So Jamie does deals that are small. And people are like, oh, here, Jamie, just take this. I'm not going to mess with it. She'll go get her license and she'll do the deal. She helps people, and that's one thing that we talked about. Do all the deals you can because you're going to get better. These people passing on deals, those become referrals. And guess what? They know somebody who knows somebody, and you get better. And this is in the middle of a hard time for a lot of people, but you're working your way through it and it's starting to change. And you're going to do incredible. You're going to do absolutely incredible. And I told you, and I mean it, I can't wait to watch you with the financial principles that you also have educated yourself. I hope your dreams come true. I hope that you can have how many acres is your one property, the cabin?
3. Oh, my cabin's 12.
Cabin's 12, and how much is the place you live?
23.
23. So I mean, you got a lot of acreage.
You want to know what my property taxes are?
What's that?
This is my biggest flex. You want to know what my property taxes are?
$25. No, I'm kidding.
Close. I'm like, on my primary residence, I think they're like $800 a year, and on my cabin, they're like $1,200 a year. Idaho. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's my biggest flex is like, yeah, all this land and $1,200 in property tax.
No, I like it.
Freaking doing California loans where they're paying $2,000 a month in property taxes.
Well, I'm sure you see all kinds of stuff when you're doing these other loans.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you a couple other questions. I know it inspired you. Here's something I want to know about you, and I don't know this. What's a failure? Well, no. I don't want to go down that one. I want this one. If you had to start over today, if I blindfolded you and I just dropped you somewhere else in America, so you had to start 100% over, what's the first thing that you do tomorrow morning when you wake up?
Sign up for DoorDash and start DoorDashing so I can make some money to make some more money. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
something to
right.
make money. You know what I mean? Like DoorDash is like a incredibly easy way to make money. When you're struggling, you can go do it whenever you want and you can make a lot of money doing it. Like,
okay, so that gets your money start to flowing, but how do you jump right back into loans? How do you start getting business?
Back into mortgages for sure. Like mortgages is, yeah, but obviously you have to have, if you made me start from scratch and I didn't have a license, I'd have to have the money to get the license. So
no, you get to take your licenses, but how do you get realtors now? How do you get business now?
How do I get business? I just talked to people.
Especially in 13 states.
Oh, the problem is, I don't know. I don't like I can honestly tell you is I don't know. It all comes so organically to me, and I think it's just because I attract it, right? Like it's not no weird stuff, right? But like it's I do my gratitude list every day, right? Like I write down 10 things I'm grateful for every day. Like I said, those books, all those books I read, like they teach you certain principles in certain ways that you should be living your life, and it's like a science, right? Like there's Think and Grow Rich, the science of getting rich, like all of those things, like the principles they talk about is a science, and you start implementing those principles and living your life in a certain way, the stuff organically comes. Like my business the other day, they asked me to send them all of my advertisements, including social media posts, to clients geared in Louisiana, right? Like attorney in Victoria sent me a message like, here, send us this, right? I said, I don't do any of that. I don't advertise. All of my
Jamie,
business is 100% referral.
hold on one second. I'm going to stop our recording just for a second. All right, so you're just working all those principles for, the books and understanding money, and you just keep it flowing, and you find out you get organic business. I don't think it's as organic as you think it is. You put yourself in a lot of people's lives, and they don't know what to do with it, so they center back to you and say, Jamie will figure it out. Just get to Jamie and she'll figure it out. And that you can't buy that kind of trust. It's earned, it's mentorship, it's people seeing you and trusting, and you're just at the right place at the right time is what I'm seeing, and it's fun to watch. It really is. That's what makes my job fun, is seeing those kind of things, because a lot of people have given up. A lot of people are like, we went from 400,000 loan officers into 21 to under 100,000 as of the beginning of this year. Less than 28% of realtors did any business last year. a lot of people are in a funk. They're, leaving the industry. They're working multiple jobs. Um, but what I see it, I'm like, I see the differences. I see someone that wakes up every morning and will not fail. You're a mom. Your kids are getting at that place where they're starting to get out there on their own, and but yet you're there to be with them and help them. Uh, you still have the things that are important to you, but you're living life on Jamie's terms, which not a lot of people have that freedom to do it. And watching you do it in the middle of this market and watching you back build into where I think you're going to be, it's going to be fun to watch you over the next 5-10 years and watch your journey to who you are and what you become with it. I honestly think you're going to be one of those people that we look back one day and go, man, that girl used to be with Expert at one time, and now she has one of the biggest brokerages in the United States herself. Like, I see you on a path to greatness, and it's going to be fun to watch. It really is. I mean, that's what I think about you. I always put my 2 cents worth on in the words on the YouTube channels, but I wanted you to hear that from me because I'm very, very proud of you. Not that you have to hear that, but man, Thomas and you, that next generation coming to Arturo Solis, that next generation coming up, and watching you guys be fearless and getting it and taking it to a new level. Um, it's such a cool thing to witness. I got to tell you. Look, for once, she's speechless. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, here's a good one. Let's leave you with this one. What's the wildest thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know.
I was dragged through the snow by a bear.
Yeah, there's lots of stories. No, well, yeah, the the wildest thing that's ever happened to me, I probably shouldn't stay on here. It's crazy, but I have been charged by a bear
Okay.
with nothing to protect myself.
Right on.
Many like the whole story I can't tell, but like yeah,
No, that's fine.
I have been charged.
Okay. How far do you drive from your house down to your office?
45 minutes.
Okay. And how far is Salt Lake City? Because I know, is it Salt Lake City this couple hours?
Hmm.
Yeah. I've seen you get in your car and drive a dog to somebody halfway across the United States. I've seen you go pick somebody up on your team because they needed assistance. And you're like, I'm there. Let me start driving. Yes,
Well,
that is Jamie driving with her laptop going 100 miles an hour in the passenger seat.
I flew to Missouri and picked one of my team members up and drove her across the United States. I did
Right
that.
on.
I drove one of my other team members across the United States to drop off her monkey.
That's a drop off a real monkey, by the way.
Monkey, a real monkey, and it was really funny because the monkey has very sharp teeth, right? So I was like kind of scared, like it's the monkey was like literally like this big, right? But
Right.
he could be
Pardon
vicious.
me.
It was hilarious because like I was so nervous about it, and so we thought he was gonna have to ride in a cage because like he's like very unpredictable and like he would like attack you for no reason, right? Like he bit my nose one time, like one time he bit my ear, and he has really sharp teeth. So we were like so nervous about this drive, and I ended up letting him out of the cage. It was my monkey, by the way. But anyways, I let him out of the cage, and because I was the one that let him out of the cage, that whole drive, like he loved me. He would just like come sit on my shoulder and glare at her. Like he would be like all the whole
I'm not
24
sure I've
hours.
ever seen that in the car next to me,
Oh
but
gosh, it was so cute. He would just like literally like sit on my shoulder and like just and she'd be like, "Come here," and he'd be like, just like he'd mean mug her. Like it was hilarious. Here I was
I
like
love it.
scared of him, but he loved me for the whole entire drive.
Jamie, there's so many loan officers, whether they're 60 years old or just starting out, but they get such a bad start. Some are afraid of social media. They're afraid of trying. You're not really a big social media person. You're a big
Right, so
people person.
yeah,
What's your advice to those people? I mean, because obviously you're figuring it out. Um, why are you figuring it out and why are they not figuring out? What's the missing ingredient, do you think?
I'm going to tell you one thing that I notice in people in general, as far as loan officers go in this business. being an entrepreneur is hard. It's a roller coaster, right? Like there's and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, right? Like it always feels like all the loans come all at once. And then when you start getting to the point where all those loans are closing, you start to panic, like, where am I gonna get the next loans? Where am I gonna get the next loans? Right. Like there's you've got to stay on top of your mental game. But like the biggest thing is I see people so worried about how much money am I gonna make? How much money am I gonna make? If you take care of people, it will take care of itself. That's where I mean, like, I am 100% referral. Like, all of my business is coming organically, but it's not because I'm advertising. It's not because I'm doing anything other than you give me an opportunity to do a loan for you. I take care of people. So I started out on that team that provided me internet leads, complete strangers, and literally brand new loan officer. I took care of those first two people. One of them was a $50,000 loan that nobody else wanted, right? Like they were like, just give that to somebody else. That's what I was told. Give it, like my team lead said, give it to somebody else. You don't want that. You can't F that. Literally, that's what I was told. But I did these two loans in Freeport, Illinois, and they sent me everybody they knew. So I went from needing that guy's leads as a brand new LO to those real estate agents in Freeport, Illinois, and those people I helped in Freeport, Illinois were sitting, and I still do a ton of business. They're small loan amounts, but I don't care. And when I was crying and upset, and I like when this job was so hard, and my family and friends were begging me to quit, I wouldn't quit because I said, who else is going to help these people with these small loan amounts? If I quit now, who's going to close this loan for this person? Like this is this person's life and it's their house. So like everything that I have is because my primary my you can't focus on making like it even just goes with all the money principles. You can't focus on how much money am I going to make for myself. If your focus is on the money and you're trying like some of my favorite books talk about money, like treat money like a person, right? Like if I am a person and you're money and I don't want to let you go and I'm super clingy to you, do you want to be around me? No, you don't. That's repulsive. Like you can't chase like that, right? You just put your focus on doing right, taking care of people, and then it all comes back to you. Like that's the biggest thing I preach to my team members when they're scared about money and they're like worried about, what they're going to make per file or whatever. I always just try to preach like, like stop getting so ahead of yourself. You take care of people, it will come. Like you just have to trust the process. And like I know I preach it and I know I say it, but like there is something to those books. Like you know what I mean? Like there is a science to it. And if you live your life in a certain way and you live by these principles and you practice them and you practice gratitude, it comes back. Like it just
It
does.
really does. It
I don't know.
really does.
I'm a firm believer in all of it.
You're going to be a motivational speaker by next year. You just got so many attributes, girl.
Justin Leach got me on this new audiobook and I'm like addicted to it. Like I've been listening to it while I sleep. It's the ultimate Jim Rohn library. Like I have to like
Okay.
restart it over in the morning because I get like so far because I like just fall asleep listening to it. But that one's a really good one too. And that one's got me pumped lately. Like I'm like it.
No, I love it. I love it. Jamie, thanks so much for just stopping your busy day. I know you go 100 miles an hour. I've been trying to get this interview. Probably this is our fourth time and I finally connected. I know you're busy, but first of all, thank you. Thank you for helping me personally on stuff that I have going here at Expert. I know because you never say no, which is half the problem. And
Well,
I'm like, cool, just ask Jamie. She won't say no.
listen, I really genuinely enjoy like a loan officer the other day said, "Thank you for never making me feel like I'm bothering you." It's like, but
Yeah,
you're not for
that's a
whatever
very true statement.
reason, I really enjoy helping them. Like I like being there for people and I like helping them and I
And you
like
are.
them and um it makes me feel good to be able to help them. So it doesn't bother me ever.
Well, I have a feeling that 2025, I wish you an incredible year. I have a feeling you're going to be one of those top 25 by the end of the year, and that will put you in status with some of the best of the absolute best in the nation. And we get to watch it firsthand, and it's
It's fun.
pretty cool to watch. You know,
I have like the hardest time understanding. Like I'm like I feel like such a small fish. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like I don't know. I just feel like such a small fish. I'm like I don't know why you think that. Like I'm such a small.
well, we'll see. We'll see if my prediction's wrong. How about that?
Yeah. No,
All right.
I'm doing it, but it's so funny because like everybody says I'm like such a hustler, but it's weird because I'm not hustling for the money. I'm hustling for the people, if that makes
Well,
sense.
and whatever you're doing is working. Don't change it. It's
Right.
obviously in this market for such a time as this, it's working and it's okay. Everybody does a little different, but yet there's a lot of similarities as well. And I can see it, but each one has their own little thing that makes it theirs, whether it's Stephanie Gilbert, Catherine Barnett, like they all have a little twist to it. But from there, it looks very similar. And so I expect you to have a little twist. Thomas Harris had a little twist. They always do. But um, I hope you have an incredible year by it's done. You're talking about buying even yet another property. So that's going to be cool to watch you do that. Just keeping, getting a real estate portfolio. I mean, just watching you become who you are, which is incredible. And you share the journey, which is really cool too. And you're always bringing people up around you as well. It's not like it's just a Jamie. Like you truly are bringing people with you, which is really cool. That's one of the things I admire about you. So I want to say thank you for your partnership at Expert Home Lending. Thank you for working like you do, changing people's lives. It shows, it reflects in what people say about you when you're not around. And to me, that is more important than anything else. You're touching people on a personal level, and they're so thankful to have somebody help them where they're at and not make them feel stupid and stuff like that. That's not easy to do. So to have that teaching trait on top of it and you have some incredible attributes. And I love embarrassing you. I love driving it home because you're like, who's this guy that keeps telling me all this stuff? And I'm like, hey, my name's Rich Hanlin. I've been doing it 35 years and I'm going to call it like I see it.
Well,
And
I
I
have
see a lot.
a hard time imagining it. You know what I mean? Like, I probably need to hear it sometimes because, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I have a hard time imagining the stuff you talk about. I'm like,
That's all right.
yeah.
It'll make sense later. It'll make sense later as you get older. No,
As
I'm
I get
kidding.
older and older and older. Oh, if I knew
Well,
now what I
that's it. That's my interview. That is Miss Jamie Newman, going to be one of the best of the best. You're going to start seeing her name on the monthly best of the best. She got a lot going on. Can't thank her enough for all that she does. What's that?
hang on a second. You got to remember, I do a lot of loans in Freeport, Illinois. Like they're $100,000.
All right. If you have small
Not
loans in
loans.
Freeport, Illinois, she is the person to go to. If you want to talk to her about her team, if you want to talk to her about how she does so much, that positive attitude, like the books she reads, the things like, if you want to know Jamie, she's an open book. I'll put her contact information, but if you need a team to fill, you know, that you can relate to, I always want to make sure people know that, Jamie's worth talking to. If you don't like being on an island by yourself, it helps to have that kind of positivity. And you can see it's very well rounded. Um, no attributes have I seen where you're cocky, mean, pushing on people. It's a very good learning experience. And you are still learning yourself, which is one of the best and cool things. You have a lot of young people on your team, which you're bringing those up and coming people on top of it. Because they have somebody they can relate to, right? And it's the next generation of loan originators, and it's really cool to watch. So I just want to say thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
All right. Like I say, when we close out a great interview every single time, I just want to say it because Jamie deserves the salute. Mortgage ballers, we salute you. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Always.
All right, girl. Thank you so much.
Thanks.